Hey YouTube, Kier Twig here, bringing you all my Masked Beast Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile for September 2019. Really wanted to work on another fun deck that I've been messing around with for quite some time, and this is Loomis and Umbra's, I'd say, main deck that they use, focusing on the Mask Beast and the Mask spell and trap cards that they ran in their decks. I was always a big fan of just the art style of the Mask cards as well when I was a kid. The Labyrinth of Nightmare pack was one that I actually got a lot of just because of all the different cool Mask cards. Tried really hard to pull Mask of Restrict. I know I pulled lots of Mask of a Curse, Brutality, you name it. And I wanted to make a fun deck that focused on a good amount of those cards, along with the main focus of their desk, being the Mask Beast and Descardius as well, and all the different monsters that focus on those cards. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So to start off for the monsters, I run 3 Mask Beast. This is your main ritual that you go for in the deck. It doesn't have any effects, but to ritual summon this card, you use Curse of the Mask Beast. One thing I love about it is a level 8 monster with 3200 attack, so it is a true powerhouse in the deck if you can easily get this card out. Just having that much attack points for your opponent to get over, and like I said, being a fun deck that I focused on, just one of your main summons to get out in the deck as well is this card. So I run 3 of it, just easy ways to search it with pre-preparation of rites and a bunch of the incantations, which I'm also running in the deck just to help assist with this ritual play. And like I said, there's not much more to go on about this card, just for the fact that it is level 8, makes it a little more easier to summon out with all of the resources we have in the deck as well. And I also run 3 of our second boss monster, being the Masked Beast Descardius. This card cannot be normal summon or set. It must be special summoned by attributing 2 monsters, including at least 1 Grand Tiki Elder or Masked Four-Faced Beast. Sorry about that. And when this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can equip 1 Mask of Remnants from your deck to a monster on the field. So what's important about the Masked Beast Descardius is that the Mask of Remnants, like I said, is your main card that can take your opponent's monsters, since it changes control of the monster that it's equipped to. It doesn't have any other effects otherwise. It has to be, activated properly with Descardius to get that effect off. So I like to run 3 of this card just for the fact that you can easily get 2 monsters out on the field to summon it. A 3300 attack point monster with 2500 defense. Focusing solely on, powerhouse monsters in this deck is the main focus, along with just the other spell and traps that we run to keep your opponent guessing with what spells we have on the field. But Descardius, just another boss monster. Like I said, very easy to get out. Since it doesn't have to be a tribute summon either, it's a special summon. So I like to run 3 of it just for consistency to add it to the hand as well. And I also run 3 of Melkid, the Four-Faced Beast. This is one of the cards you need for Descardius, so I decided to focus on this, and Grand Tiki Elder as well in the deck. Plus we have plenty of options. I also run Link Spider in the extra deck, so if you open up those cards, you can easily have, Melkid, Grand Tiki Elder, and Descardius in your hand. Summon Link Spider, special summon another one, and then there are your 2 cards for the tribute for Masked Beast Descardius. So I run 3 of Melkid, the Four-Faced Beast, and I also run 3 of the Grand Tiki Elder. For those of you that also maybe want to run, you can try Rescue Rabbit out for just easy summons of these cards. I'm trying out some other options, which I can show you that you can replace for, obviously Rescue Rabbit, if you did want to run those options in the deck. I just find a little more fun, for sure, just to rely on the other plays, but you also just have to consider the monster count for the ritual play as well. Like I said, we're going for a full mask deck with this profile, so focusing on just those plays alone definitely do come in handy also. And for a little more added support, I run 2 Incantation Camdoll. This is just for added support for the rituals, with Candle being able to just give you that easy special summon of your other incantations, and then also just being able to add, when it is special summon, the ritual spell. So you can search for your ritual spell for the Masked Beasts, and then also focusing on Talismandra for the search of your monster. And both of them together give you the needed amount for the ritual play. And I also run the 1 Pencil Plume and the 1 Incantation Bookstone as well. This is just the lineup I prefer the most for the consistency and not really focusing too much else on all the other cards as well when you have your Mass Beast cards to rely on. But this Ritual Assistance definitely does come in handy, giving you the monsters on the field to use, but like I said, also giving you just those options for them, since the only thing you're limited with these cards are special summoning from the extra deck. So it gives you the extra monsters as well for Descardius on the field. And that is it for the monsters. We'll now move on to the spells. One of our more important ones is the Ritual spell for the Mass Beast, Cursed of the Mass Beast. Pretty straightforward with both the Ritual monster and the spell. This card is used to Ritual summon the Mass Beast. You can also tribute monsters whose total level equal 8 or more from your field or hand. So it's a pretty generic Ritual spell. You're not really limited to what you can use. You can even use cards in your hand, but the incantations help just with the additional search for this card. And a 3200 attack point monster is the thing your opponent has to fear with this card. Being able to get over a good amount of monsters we have currently in the game still with an easy Ritual monster you can summon out. And I also said we were focusing on the mass cards in this deck as well. So one of my favorites, and I would say one of the better ones for sure, for the deck is Mask of the Accursed. The equipped monster cannot attack, and once per turn during your standby phase, inflict 500 damage to the controller of the equipped monster. Now I know link monsters are a big thing with this, but the one thing I love to do with Mask of the Accursed is if my opponent does have a boss monster out on the field, equip it to that card. So they basically have to, either link summon it away to get rid of this problematic card from keeping them from attacking, or just have some kind of other option they can use to destroy this card on the field. But it is definitely a bother for them having this on the field to get rid of for sure. So I like to run 3 of it just for that added backup option. With all the search we have for Ritual monsters, just being able to open up some of these mass cards is definitely what makes it the most fun for sure. Another one for the powerhouse plays, I run 2 Mask of Brutality. The monster equipped with this gains 1000 attack and decreases its defense by 1000 points. You pay 1000 life points during each of your standby phase. If you cannot, this card is destroyed. Equipping it to the Mass Beast or Descardius puts it over 4000 attack points, so another true powerhouse. I know cards like Axe of Despair or Mage Power are definitely, just better well equipped, but Mask of Brutality is the mass card we're going for that theme with this deck, so we're just focusing on the mass cards with this one. Definitely got a lot of nostalgia with this one. Definitely a terrifying mask at that, but like I said, if you're going for the full mask option, this is the one to go for sure. And then for the one-ofs of the Mask spell cards, I run 1 Mask of Dispel and the 1 Mask of Remnants. Now, I know you have to activate it from the deck. It'd be much better at the one-of spot if you could also activate it from the graveyard, but I only run the 1 because otherwise, if you open it up when you activate it, you just shuffle this card into the deck. It's really minusing you the 1 card that you could have used otherwise, but other than that, if you want to bump up some of the other options, you could try taking out the Mask of Brutalities. It's great because when it does activate, it switches control of whoever was equipped to this card, so you could take one of your opponent's monsters with this mask after Descardius is gone. So it definitely does, make your opponent regret getting rid of Descardius. And then Mask of Dispel, you select 1 face-up spell card on the field. The controller of that spell must take damage 500 life points during each of his or her standby phases, and when the selected card is destroyed or removed from the field, this card is also destroyed. So just a small curse card as well. This was one of the first mask cards I ever pulled, so true nostalgia with this one, but definitely another problematic spell, just burning away at your opponent with this and Mask of the Accursed, along with having to worry about monsters with 3000 or more attack on the field to get over. And I also run a very useful card in the deck, is Pre-Preparation of Rites. You add 1 Ritual spell from your deck to your hand, and add 1 Ritual monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand whose name is listed on that Ritual spell. You can only activate 1 Pre-Preparation of Rites per turn. There's your search for your Ritual monsters. Just having the other monsters in the deck to focus on definitely does come in handy. So 3 of this is very, very important for sure, just to get your Mass Beast and the Ritual spell to use it into your hand. And we run a pretty good amount of dark monsters in the deck as well. So I run 3 Allure of Darkness, just being able to, if you open up, let's say, too many Descardius or, any of the normal monsters, they're all dark, so you can easily use Allure with them to, get more draw power of probably some more useful cards into your hand. And I also run 2 Unexpected Die. This is just another easy way to get the normal monsters out onto the field. If you didn't want to run these, you could try the Rescue Rabbits in this spot instead, but that's all just, player preference for this specific spot. And I also run 2 Twin Twister with our beatdown strategy with the Mass Beast and Discardius. You really want to make sure any pesky back row is cleared as well. So I like main decking this at the 2 for that. Plus, like I said, just the additional dead draw cards can definitely just be useful for the discard cost for Twin Twisters. And then for the traps, the only trap I am running, but if you really want to run Mask of Restrict, you could swap it for Mask of Weakness, or you could try taking out the Twin Twisters or the Mask of Brutalities. But 2 Mask of Weakness, just for an additional mask spot for the trap lineup. It makes the monster attacking, loses 700 attack. Funny practice game that I actually went up against. I used the Mass Beast, and my opponent actually was using a 3,000 attack point monster that they bumped up themselves, attacked into the Mass Beast, and the Mask of Weakness actually worked, dropping their monster down to 2,800. They actually didn't see it coming. It was quite funny with the test plays, but true tech to use in the deck as well. But if you want to run Mask of Restrict, the only reason I don't is because it's a tribute one that definitely does limit you with some other plays, but other than that, I prefer Mask of Weakness just for that final mask spot in the deck, of course. And that is it for the main deck. When I move on to the extra deck, I run 2 Wee Witch's Apprentice. Once again, just powering up the Dark Monsters when we can make this card for sure in the deck. And I also run 1 Underclock Taker, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Nightmare Cerberus, and 1 Nightmare Unicorn for some of the Nightmare lineup. I also run the 2 Link Spiders just for the easy special summon when you open up more of the normal monsters in your hand, but still giving you, like I said, the option on the field to go for Discardius. And I also run the 1 Topologic Bomber Dragon. This could be Borreload or Borrelsword if you had that spot instead. And then for the Exceed monsters, just with Melkit and Tiki, you can run Daigusto Morale, the normal monster. Special summon, also a big help. Also 1 Utopia and Utopia the Lightning for that plays. For some other generics, I run 1 Tornado Dragon and 1 Castel. And Discardius and Mass Beast are also level 8, so if you can go for the rank 8 Heretic Sun or any other rank 8 choice can fill this spot as well for them. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. It's definitely a fun deck if you're looking for an anime deck to look into. Give Loomis and Umbra some love. I'm sure they would appreciate you looking at their mask cards. But until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kira Twig out.